Welcome to my channel. Let me ask you something. What if English wasn't just a class, but part of your life every day? Not something you learn once a week, but something that stays with you, walks with you, and eats with you. In this video, I share how I built English into my day. No teacher, no classroom, just tiny steps and a brave heart. I'll tell you right now, if you stay with me, how you can do it outside, too, from your home, your room, your world. So don't go anywhere. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Words of the morning, winds in the morning. A new day begins. I wake up, and the first words out of my mouth are in English, not perfect sentences, just straightforward ones. Good morning. It's sunny today. My eyes are still sleeping, but my voice awakens. I mouth the words to myself. I say them quietly, as if in confidence to the morning. I gaze at my blanket. I state, "This is a warm blanket." I touch the pillow and tell my sense of touch. The pillow is soft. I smile. These are not great words, but they are my own. I speak them, one by one. English is the earliest sound of my day. I get out of bed. I reach, stretch, and yawn. I feel tired, but happy. I look around my room. It is quiet. No teacher, no classmates. Just me. But I'm not alone. My English is with me. I walk to the mirror and stare at my own face. I say, "Good morning, my friend." I laugh. It feels absurd talking to myself, but it also feels brave. This is my private practice. No pressure, no judgment, just words. I walk to the bathroom. I pick up my toothbrush. I tell him, "This is my toothbrush." I brush my teeth and say, "I brush my teeth." I say it again and again, not because I crave being perfect, but because I like the feeling of the words. I don't even want to hold English just in my mind. I want it dripping from my mouth. I point to the water and say, "The water's cold." I say, "I wash my face." These are small sentences, but they are real. They match my actions. They are part of my life. Then I go to the kitchen. I open the fridge. I say, "The fridge is white." I pull out milk and say, "This is milk." I make tea. I say, "I boil water." I pour the tea. I watch the steam rise. I say, "The tea is hot." It's not a lesson. It's not a textbook. It's just me and my morning, and any moment is a place for English. I don't really think about grammar very much. I don't care if my sentence is 100% accurate. I just say what I see, the world as it comes to me. Then, gradually, something beautiful begins to occur. I stop translating in my mind. I quit thinking in my language. I begin to think in English, a little, just enough to feel it, enough to be plausible. I eat breakfast. I say, "I eat eggs. I drink tea." I point to the table and say, "The table is brown." I touch the spoon. The spoon is small. I speak like a child, but I fight like a warrior. There is a step forward in every word I utter. I'm not worried about being overheard. I speak for myself. I speak to learn. I sit by the window after breakfast. I look outside. I say, "The sun is bright. The sky is blue. The trees are green." I take a deep breath. I feel proud. That is no great accomplishment, but it is my achievement. I started my day in English. I started off by choosing English for my first hour, and that means something. I open my notebook and write 5 new things I said. Just simple things. No long sentences. Just what I remember. I don't write like a student. I'm writing as somebody taking notes in a new country. English is that country, and every word that I say is like stepping on new ground. At first, this feels silly, strange, even a little embarrassing. Talking to my bed, talking to my tea. But then I catch my breath. It's not the thing. It's about the action, the habit, the practice. I am making a little English world inside my real world. And by the day, that world gets larger. Some mornings, I feel tired. I want to skip speaking, but I don't. I say 1 word, then 2, then a sentence, and the energy comes back. American English makes me smile. I have an immediate little goal to strive for before the day has hardly even begun, and that makes me feel powerful. I do this every day. I speak to the morning. I speak to the air. I talk to the spoon, the mirror, and the cup. I know it sounds funny, but it works. Somehow, I have made such words my friends. They are always with me. They don't laugh at me. They don't correct me. They just sit there and wait for me to deploy them. And when I do, they grow. This after 1 week, I notice. I speak faster. I don't pause as much. I don't feel nervous. My voice feels more natural. My mouth moves more easily. And my heart? My heart feels proud, because I am working on something. I am paving my own way to learn, my own way to grow. I do not need to read any grammar rule in the morning. There's no need for me to memorize vocabulary lists. I just have to live my morning in English. And when I do that, English becomes one of the things that I just naturally do. Not extra work, not pressure, just part of life. If you want to be able to speak English better, the place to start is your morning. Use simple words. Describe what you see, what you do, and what you feel. Wail even when no one is there. Talk, especially when no one is listening. That's when your voice develops. Authentic. Free. The morning is quiet, but you can breathe life into it with your words. English life. Don't wait for ideal conditions to improve upon your practice. Don't wait for a teacher. Have your morning educate you. Whenever you speak, let that be your conversation with tea. Turn your toothbrush into an early morning listener. Morning words may be small, but they create big wins every day, every time, 1 small sentence at a time. This is how I turned English into my everyday, beginning with the very first hour of the day, with the simplest of words set free in daring and in care. And you can do the same. Start tomorrow morning. Just 1 word, 1 sentence, 1 step. Let's keep going. Chapter 2. The English Language at Work in All Quarters. I go through my home, naming everything I see. This is a chair, this is a cup. I open the window, I close the door. It's not to brag that I say these things. I'm saying them because they help me learn. Step away from complexity and complexity's language as best you can. I use simple verbs, I use easy nouns. I poke at things and say their names as if meeting them anew. This is a lamp. This is my bag. That is a shoe. I say them over and over. I don't care how many times. Repetition is not dull. It is potent. I talk to my room as if it's a friend. I say, "Hello, room. You are little, but you are mine." I say, I sit on the chair. I take a deep breath. I turn small moments into little sentences. I start to enjoy it. My room becomes my classroom. My walls may not talk back to me, but they listen. They don't admonish me, but they never pass judgment. This is where I feel safe. I go to the kitchen. I open the fridge. I see tomatoes. I take one. I wash it. I narrate my every move. I say, I cut the onion. I fry the egg. I mix the salt. These are not words from the pages of a book. These are real. These are my words for my life. And the secret is this: I don't come separate from English. I put English into my life. I am not sitting in the kitchen with a grammar book. I don't write a vocabulary list. I do what I've always done, just in English. Even if my words are simple, even if it isn't grammatically right. I speak. I speak while I cook. I speak while I clean. I speak while I fold clothes. I say, I fold the shirt. I put it on the bed. It doesn't sound as odd now. I think it's smart. Sometimes I forget words. There's something I want to say, but I don't know the word in English. So I look it up. I use my phone. I look up. What is jaru in English? It says broom. I smile. I go over and I pick it up and I show him. This is a broom. I have the floor swept with a broom. Now I know. I don't forget, because I learned it in an actual moment. I also start to label things. I take small pieces of paper. I write mirror, window, door, table. I stick them on objects. So I read them when I walk by. I see English whether I'm speaking or not. I'm touching English. The labels help me. They remind me to speak. I have the feel of a small English center in my house as a result of them. One day, I open a drawer. I see a spoon, a fork, and a knife. I say, this is a spoon. I use it to eat rice. This is a fork. I use it for salad. This is a knife. It cuts. I smile. I've never said that before. But now they feel real. They are part of my day. And that's how I learn, not by rote, but by living. I talk to my fan. The fan is fast. I talk to my clock. The clock says 3 o'clock. I even talk to my shoes. You are dirty. I will clean you. It feels strange, but I guess it feels good. My teacher is everything. There is something to say about every object. I begin to feel a little cocky, because I don't hang around and wait for someone to speak to me in English. I talk to myself. I talk to my home. I create my own practice. And gradually, I sense English about me. Not just in my notebook, but in the air, in the walls, in the sounds of my day. This is not hard to do. You don't need a big plan. Long paragraphs are not necessary. Just start with one thing, one object. Say its name. Say what you do with it. For example, this is a pen. I write with the pen. Then pick another. This is a book. I read the book. Do this every day. again and again. It is not necessary to have something new to say every time. You can say the same thing repeatedly. It's okay. Repetition builds memory. Repetition builds fluency. You'll begin to feel the words in your mouth, not merely in your head. Some days I feel lazy. I don't want to talk. Then I look down at my cup and tell myself, I drink tea from this cup. And here I am, just back in practice. I say one thing, then another. English flows. It flows when I turn on the tap. It begins small, but before you know it, it fills the room. It never occurred to me that my home would be my classroom. But now it is. And the good news is, open all the time. No schedule, no stress. Just me and my space. I can talk all I want. I can make mistakes. I can laugh at myself. And I do it all in peace. English can be near at hand, or it can be far away. You don't have to wait to talk to somebody. You can speak now, with your bed, with your clothes, with your spoon. Turn your home into your English world. It is already full of things. Translation. Just add some English words to them. This is how I do it. I pace around my house and say things. I pack English into every nook and cranny. Slowly, it becomes natural. It all just slowly seeps into me. Not something I learn, but something I live. You can do the same. Start with one room, then two. Name what you see. Say what you do. Speak the little things. Then those small things will soon take you to big progress. Your home is waiting. Your English is waiting. Take your voice into your corners, one small sentence at a time. Chapter 3. Talking to myself, finding my voice. I talk to myself when there is no one around. I don't whisper. I speak out loud. I say it with feeling, with practice, with hope. I walk to the mirror and I look at my face. I see my eyes. I see my lips move. I smile and say, "Hello?" Then I ask, "How are you?" I answer, "I'm doing fine, thank you." My voice sounds weird in the beginning, like it doesn't belong to me. But I keep going. "What's your name?" I ask. "My name is Allie." "Nice to meet you, Allie." "Nice to meet you, too." I laugh a little. It's a funny feeling, but thrilling, too. Yes, this isn't a real conversation, but it feels real to me. It feels important. It feels alive. I am not just saying lines. I'm creating space for the English in my own mouth, my own brain. No teacher is here. No class. Just me and my reflection. I'm learning more than ever before. At first, I'm shy, even though I'm alone. I worry about how I sound. I think, what will happen if someone hears me? But no one is listening. No one is watching. And that becomes my freedom. I speak without fear. I speak without worry. I speak only for myself. That is powerful. I talk about my day. I will say, today, at 7 a.m., I woke up. I brushed my teeth. I drank tea. I felt sleepy. I say these things slowly and one sentence at a time. I'm not fussed about the big rules of grammar. I just try to tell my story, my simple, quiet story, and that's enough. Then I ask myself questions. What did you do today? I went to the market. What did you buy? I bought bread and milk. Did you walk or take the bus? I walked. I ask. I answer. I listen to my voice. It gets braver with every line. I forget that I'm alone. It actually begins to seem like a conversation, not with someone, but with my future self, the one who speaks English with ease. Sometimes I change my voice. I sound like a pair of individuals. I say, "Good morning, sir." Then I answer, "Good morning. How can I help you?" I create small role plays. I behave as though I'm at a store, a restaurant, or a doctor's office. I imagine situations. It's the terms I've heard in videos. I become both people. I practice both sides. This isn't just practice language. That's imagination, confidence, and training. One day, I make a new plan. I will speak for 5 minutes every night before I go to bed. I'll chat with myself about my day. I sit on my bed. I say, "Today was a good day. I studied English. I watched a video. I learned 5 new words." I speak slowly. I correct myself if I can. I don't rush. These 5 minutes are pure gold. They try to do things that feel special, something just for me. I begin to use the front camera on my phone, like a mirror. I press record. I talk. I say, "Hi, my name is Ali. I'd like to have fluent English." I pause. I think. I speak again. I live in Pakistan. I love learning languages. I videotape myself for 1 minute. Then I watch it. I see my face. I hear my voice. I notice my mistakes. I laugh. I learn. I try again the next day. These records turn into my own private diary. I don't share them. I keep them for myself. But they clarify my growth to me. The first thing I do is speak slowly. I make many pauses. I forget words. But 1 week later, I see a difference. My sentences come faster. My voice is louder. My eyes look more confident. I'm no longer scared of my voice. I develop a habit of speaking with myself every day. I talk, pacing in my room. I say as I glance out the window. I tell you, "It's nice outside today." I talk to the wall. I say, "I feel tired." I talk to my shoes. "I'm going to wear you today." Everything becomes a conversational partner. This may seem odd to people, but I take it as the truth. This is making me better at it. It is training my brain. It is training my mouth. It is training my heart. And that is because a language is not just a body of knowledge, but a body of power. And while I talk to myself, I become both. I pretend that I'm doing it for someone else sometimes. I say, "Don't worry, you can do it. Just speak." I am speaking the words that I need to hear. I become my own teacher. I become my own friend. And that changes everything. This habit starts small, just a few minutes a day, but it grows. It turns into my favorite part of learning. No stress, no pressure, nothing but my voice, my room, and my time. And out of this habit, I find not just English, I find confidence. I find peace. I find my voice. One morning, I catch myself saying an entire sentence without realizing it. My next meeting is at 10, etc. I pause. I realize I didn't translate. I didn't plan. The words just came, like a river that had finally broken over the rocks. That is the benefit of talking to yourself. You don't just learn, you transform. So if you are learning English by yourself, don't wait to practice with someone. You already have someone. You. Talk to yourself. In the mirror, in the room, in your phone. Talk every day. Talk with love. Talk with patience. Because you get stronger every time you speak. And that voice one day will enable you to speak to the world. You may not sound great, but it is brave, and courageous voices change lives, beginning with your own. Chapter 4. My Teacher, My Phone. I unlock my phone and transform it into a classroom. It's a super short-form video app that once mainly served as a repository for games, messages, and joke videos. Now, it becomes my teacher. I don't dump my phone, I give it a new task. I enter the settings and switch the language to English. Now every word I encounter is a learning. Settings. Display. Battery. Notifications. These are more than just menu items at this point. They are vocabulary. They are learning tools. I read them slowly. I pick up new words without even opening a volume. My apps are now in English. My clock says alarm. According to my weather app, partly cloudy. My messages show new chat. At first, I feel lost. Some words are new. I don't understand them all, but I don't switch back. I stay with English. I let it become normal. I start to guess meanings. I am beginning to relax. I stop translating. I just use it. Then I go to YouTube. I open the app and type in English for Beginners. So many results. I can't decide which one to take. I choose a video entitled Daily English Practice. The speaker talks slowly. We're talking about morning routines today, she says. I listen carefully. I understand most of it. I smile. I watch more. I click another video. This one is ordering food in English. I repeat the sentences. Could I get a sandwich, please? I'd like a cup of tea. I feel like I'm at a restaurant already. Soon I create a playlist. It is called My English Practice. I add videos every day. I watch one in the morning and one at night. Sometimes I just listen, on the walk, while cooking, or while doing laundry. My phone turns into a speaker, and English vibrates in the air. I'm not wasting time online. I'm learning. Then I download a podcast app. I type in English Listening Beginner. I click on what's called Simple English Stories. I play the first episode. It's a story about a girl and her dog. The voice is slow and folksy. I press play, pause, and some of the lines I play back. I see myself in the story. The podcast is my evening comrade. I sit still and listen. No screen, just sound. And for me, in that sound, I find learning. I download an app for English words as well. Each day it presents me with one new word. Today's word, pillow. I click. It displays definition, example, and pronunciation. I repeat the word 3 times. Pillow, pillow, pillow. I use it in a sentence. I sleep with a soft pillow. These small moments are where I am building the language I am learning with no pressure. Then I find something fun. I open Google Assistant. I say, "Hi, how are you?" It responds, "I'm good, thanks." I laugh. I think, "What is the weather today?" It says, "Today is sunny with a high of 34. I ask silly questions. Tell me a joke. What's your favorite color? Google answers them all. I practice speaking. I practice listening. I learn without fear. Shortly, I am only using my phone in English throughout the day. I think and make my to-do lists in English. Buy milk. Call mom. Study English. In my notes I type, "Today I learned 5 new words." I search things in English. Take a query such as how to make tea in my language, and I look that up in English. The results are new. The words are new. The learning is new. I do voice typing in English. I push the mic and say, "I am going to the market." My phone types it for me. I'll try it again if I'm wrong. I speak more clearly. This is how I pick up pronunciation. I learn to talk slowly and properly. It's fun. It's useful. Even my social media changes. I follow English pages. I watch English reels. I read English captions. I comment in basic English. Nice video. I love this. Thank you for sharing. These are tiny sentences, but they are true. I'm speaking English to the world, but every swipe, every scroll, turns into a little English lesson. I read subtitles in videos. I write short replies. I laugh at jokes. I learn new phrases. I feel as though I'm not studying, and yet I'm learning. This is the beauty of it. English creeps into my life not through books, but through my fingers, my eyes, and my ears. One day I open up my phone, and I notice something. Before typing, it wasn't how I thought in my language. I just typed in English. It happened naturally. When I wrote "buy eggs" in my notes, I didn't translate. I just knew the words. This is the magic moment. That moment when English ceases to be a subject and becomes a habit. I no longer feel interrupted by my phone. It guides me, it teaches me, it joins me on the way. I'm not going to waste precious time watching a bunch of random videos. I choose English videos. I don't scroll mindlessly. I scroll with purpose. I make every app a learning app. Now, English is not just in my book. It's in my notifications. It's in my playlists. It's in my reminders. It's all over my digital life. My phone is not the enemy. It is my teacher, a silent, enduring, strong teacher. So use the one thing you do have, your phone. Set it to English. Use English apps. Watch English videos. Talk to your assistant. Write your notes in English. Turn your phone into your classroom. You don't need a big plan. You don't need an upmarket course. You just need one small step. Because when your phone is speaking English, your world begins to shift. You begin to think in English. You begin to dream in English. And one day, while not even trying, you'll say a sentence, and suddenly you open your eyes and you didn't even translate it. It just came. Because your computer is now an English-speaking environment. And your digital life is your real life. My phone taught me that. Let it teach you too. Chapter 5. One song, one story. Every day I listen to one easy English song every day. Not a long playlist. Not 10 different artists. Just one song, a short, easy one. I select songs with tame voices and distinct words. In the manner of, You Are My Sunshine, or Let It Be. I listen to the song once, then again. I find the lyrics online, I read them, I play the song again. This time I sing with it. My voice is not perfect. Sometimes I miss a word, sometimes I sing off key, but I smile, I sing anyway. Because, this isn't music class. This is language practice. And that is how I learn, with glee. Songs are magic. They carry emotions along with the words. I feel the emotion when I sing. Happy, sad, calm, hopeful. These aren't lessons about grammar, that is. But they teach me more than grammar. I pick up on how to say, I miss you, with emotion. I learn what I'm sorry means when someone sings it. They are real feelings, real lines, and real English. Some words come up time and again in songs. Love, time, heart, you. I start to notice them. I don't need a dictionary. That's what the music tells us. I'm beginning to get not the sense, but the vibe, and that helps my speaking. Now, when I tell him thank you, I say it with warmth. When I say I'm happy, I say it with a smile. I've learned how the words are supposed to feel with that song. After the song, I pull a short story, not a hard novel, not a news article, just a simple beginner story, maybe 10 sentences. Sometimes from a website called English Stories for Beginners, sometimes from an app. The stories chronicle daily life. A boy goes to school, a girl buys fruit, a family visits the park. Easy stories, yet rich in useful English. I read it aloud slowly, the way I had every story in class. I don't rush, I feel each word. That's how I get the rhythm. The boy wakes up. He eats breakfast. He goes to school. These are not just lines. These are real-life actions. I see the story in my mind. I feel like I am there. Then I read the story again. This time, faster. My voice becomes smoother. My tongue moves more easily. I don't stop to think. I just read. Then I do something new. I close my eyes and attempt to narrate the story in my own words. I say, the boy woke up. He ate food. He went to school. It's not perfect, but it's mine. It's my English. I sing that song on some days in the morning, and I read the story at night. On other days, I do both in the evening. I don't do them for hours, 15 or 20 minutes maybe. But somehow, they feel sturdy. Those few minutes, they feel rich. As if I'm feeding my brain and my heart simultaneously. Songs keep the sound of English. The stories provide the structure for me. Songs help my pronunciation. Tales aid me in my sentence construction. Songs teach me emotion. Stories teach me action. Together they tune my ears, my mouth, and my memory. And they all add up to a confidence I didn't previously have. There are days when I play the same song 5 days in a row. I want to feel every word. I'd like to sing without reading it. I want to own that song. And when I succeed, it feels great, as if I've climbed a small mountain. My voice is clearer, my ears are sharper, I feel proud. I read the same story several times. For a moment, I don't understand one sentence, I check the meaning. The next time, I'll know better. By the third time, I know it. I say it without looking. I report it as if it were my story. And gradually, I sense the force of practice. This single song, single story, a day routine becomes something that I am looking forward to. It's not a boring lesson. It's a moment of peace, a moment for myself, a moment to grow, and I'm getting better every day. Not only speaking, but also understanding, thinking, and feeling English. I sometimes come across a new word through songs. I write it down. I attempt to include it in my speaking. I absorb the word lonely from a song. The word smile was coined from an anecdote. These are not just words. They are in my memory now, part of my emotions. When I'm tired, I still try to do at least one, both, or at least one song or one story. I remind myself, it's not about being perfect. It's about being present, about showing up for myself, about building a habit, because a song a day is 30 songs in a month. That's 30 stories one day at a time. And that is real progress. I also start to write. After finishing a story, I add a few lines about my day. Today, I ate eggs. I walked to the shop. I bought rice. My sentences are like the tales, simple, clear. This is how I link reading to speaking, speaking to writing, listening to living. So now, a little gift I afford myself every day. One song, one story. I sing, I read, I smile, and I grow. I'm not waiting for the perfect class. I am not looking for a teacher. I am learning now, here, with my phone, my voice, and my willpower. To expand your English, make it simple. Pick one song that moves you. Pick one story that calls to you. Do it every day. Feel the words. Say them out loud. Make them yours. One song, one tale. It doesn't take a lot, but it builds everything. Confidence, fluency, joy, English. Chapter 6. English while doing life. I wash dishes and say to myself, I am washing dishes. I sense the warm water and the soap on my hand, and I speak, not in my native language, in English. The plates sparkle, the bubbles dance, so I add, I am washing the spoon. I'm setting the glass on the rack. These are noli dutien tasks no longer. They are lessons, soft, simple lessons that whisper to me in my ordinary days. I walk down the street. I look at the sky. I say, it is cloudy today. I look at the road. The road is empty. I walk to the store and I say, I am walking to the store. I need to buy bread. Those sentences are tiny, but drawn straight from life. I don't even write them down in a notebook. I didn't learn them out of a book and memorize them. I love them. I speak them. They belong to me. I fold the clothes when I clean my room. I am opening the window. I am making the bed. My hands don't tie anyone up, and my mouth doesn't seal anyone's lips. English is what I do. I don't have to stop and sit to study. I carry English with me as I go. My home becomes my school. My daily work is my teacher. I used to think I learned English by stopping my life, sitting down for hours, holding a book. reading grammar rules. But now, something better is in my view. I can learn while I live. I can study while I walk. I can grow while I cook. I'm not waiting for a good time. I am spending the time I already have, and sometimes I say it while chopping vegetables. This is a tomato. I am cutting the tomato. Now I put it in the bowl. I boil water. I say, the water is hot. It is boiling. I am making tea. These words are simple, but they are real. They are part of my day, and that makes them strong. When I am doing the laundry, I will state, I am washing my clothing. I am drying the shirt. I fold the pants. My voice is added to the task. The machine revolves, and I say. And whenever I sweep the floor, I say, I am cleaning the floor. The dust is gone. My home is my practice arena. My life becomes my classroom. And the best part? I don't feel pressure. I don't feel stress. It doesn't feel like learning. I feel free. I feel calm. I don't have to make room for it in my day because I'm not adding something else to my day. I'm simply translating the language of the things I already do. The actions stay the same, but now I do them in English. At first, it feels strange. Having a conversation with yourself as you clean or walk. You feel a little silly, but soon it becomes normal. It becomes your habit. And then something wonderful happens. Your brain stops translating. You don't think in your language and switch to English. You just speak. I'll never forget the day I said for the first time, I'm making tea, without a second thought. The words came so smoothly, so easily. I didn't plan them. I didn't search for them. They just came. I noticed this is how fluency starts, not with a textbook, only not with a perfect grammar chart, but with small, true sentences in small, ordinary lives. English is now part of my rhythm. I am locking the door, I say as I go to the door. I water the plants, and I say, I am watering the flowers. I sit and say, I am sitting on the chair. I feel tired. My world teems with small, true sentences. Every one of them makes me feel more secure. Even things I find boring are interesting if I can use English. Washing socks? These are my socks. They are clean now. Organizing the shelf? I am arranging the books. This is my English book. I don't say these things based on listening to somebody else. I say them because hearing them helps me grow. The trick is not the size of the word. It's the realism that's the key to them. I'm not trying to be smart. I am trying to be clear. I am attempting to marry language and life. Do you forget when you do that? You don't struggle, because you're not just learning, you're living. And before long, English is part of your stream of thought. You're walking to the kitchen and telling yourself, I am hungry. You sit down and say to yourself, I need to relax. You are not saying it in your first language first. You say it in English, without effort, without planning. It just happens. It's the power of speaking and doing. This is the perk of life in your classroom. You don't need extra time. You don't need a special book. You just need to make English part of what you already do. Speak while you cook. Speak while you clean. Speak while you live. And if someone asks you, when do you study English? You just smile and say, all the time. Because now, English isn't something you pause your life for. It is something that you bring into your life. So if you are busy, good. You have more to talk about. You have more opportunity to speak English. Start with one sentence. I am walking. Then add another. I am walking to the shop. Then another. I walk to the store to buy fruit. Build slowly. Speak daily. Learn while living. You don't have to have perfect grammar to get going. You just need your voice, your actions, your moments, and they are always with you. English is not far. It's right here, in your hands, in your home, in your day. All you've got to do is say it as you do life. And when you do, every dish, every step, and every chore becomes part of your fluency, a piece of your lovely odyssey. Chapter 7. Tiny Dialogues with the World. When I step outside, I don't leave English at home. I carry it with me, not in books, not in notebooks. I carry it in my thoughts, in the very soft voice in my head. I walk out the door and I get started. When I observe the sky, I think to myself, it's a blue sky today. I spy a bird and murmur, the bird is flying. I walk past a child and think to myself, the boy is playing with a ball. These are my little conversations with the world. They make no noise, but they are there, very real. I do not talk to people on the street. I don't need to. I speak to the things I see, to the trees, to the cars, to the buildings. I see a bus and think, that bus is full. I glance at the road and mumble, a lot of cars. This is a habit now, a soft, powerful habit. I speak in English, not loudly, not publicly, but invariably. And over time, I notice something lovely. I don't have to translate anymore. Something is there, something English, and the sentence just comes. Sometimes I whisper, very softly, I am walking to the shop. I want to buy eggs. This road is busy. No one notices. No one cares. But to me, these whispers are shouting. They are lessons. They are practice. I am not holding out for someone to talk to me in English. The conversation is beginning in my head. It's one of the major secrets of learning. Speaking in your mind. A partner isn't always necessary. Not everything requires a teacher. You are your own conversation partner. Your eyes see, your brain thinks, and your English expands. And I go to the store and I wonder, what do I need? I am thinking, I must have milk, I need sugar, I need rice. I grab a bag and go, this is heavy. I look at a woman with a baby and whisper, she looks tired. I'm no longer only learning English, I'm using it. I'm living with it. I remember one day clearly. I was waiting in line. It was a long line. I didn't want to waste time. So I looked around. I began narrating human beings in my head. The man has a red shirt. The lady is speaking on the telephone. The child is crying. Such isolated sentences helped time go by. But also, they trained my brain. They conditioned my thinking in English. It didn't feel like studying. It felt natural. It felt like a game. A quiet, private game that only I was playing. But with every passing second, I grew stronger. My grammar wasn't perfect. My vocabulary was simple. But the sentences came. They came easily. That was the real win. I also employ mini conversations when I'm feeling nervous. When I walk into a store, I wonder to myself, what will I say? I practice in my mind. Can I get 1 bottle of water? How much is this? I repeat the lines silently. I feel ready. I feel calm. Even if I wasn't using English in the shop, I was still practicing. That still counts. And sometimes I do speak. Just one line. Thank you. Okay? Yes. Those are tiny words, but they are words from my own practice, from my mini conversations. It is this naturalness that is strong. I don't even have to look for them. I already have them in my mouth. At night, I walk on the roof. I just look up at the stars and think, I can see the moon. I notice lights in the distance and say, some people are still up. The world becomes my partner. The night is my classroom, and I don't want other people to be there. Sometimes I go to the park. I sit quietly. I watch life happen. I allowed English to well up within me like an easy song. The children are running. The wind is cool. The dog is barking. These thoughts tie me to English. They keep me growing. Even when I'm on a rickshaw or a bus, I look out and rehearse. That shop is closed. He is carrying something. She is wearing a red dress. I use what I know. I'm not working for fancy sentences. I use what's simple, what's true, what fits the moment, and sometimes I talk to myself, literally. Inside my skull, I say to myself, how are you feeling now? I say, I'm a little tired, but happy. I talk about my day. Today was busy. I studied for an hour. I watched an English video. I review my day in English. It becomes a habit, a beautiful habit. These are small mini conversations, but they are important. They change how I think. They show me how to look at the world in English. They're one way I practice fluency without stress, without fear. I don't need to be taking it to learn. I don't have to be perfect to practice. If you want to get better at English, don't wait for a classroom. Don't wait for somebody to talk to. Start with your thoughts. Begin with the world at your feet. Describe what you see. Speak softly. Think clearly. Ingrain English into your daily thought process. Because if you think in English, speaking is easier. When you start up the world to whisper in it, your confidence grows. When you develop this quiet habit, English is no longer a subject. It becomes part of you. So the next time you are out, do not leave English at home. Take it with you. Let it walk beside you. Let it express itself through your eyes, your steps, and your thoughts. Every street, every tree, and every person is part of your practice. And one day, you'll realize you're thinking not just in English, you're living in it. Chapter 8. Mistakes I make that make me smile. I make many mistakes, every day. And at first I hated it. I felt embarrassed. I wanted to hide. I said, why can't I talk without mistakes? He go to school instead of he goes to school. I would say I eated rice instead of I ate rice. Once I said, she does her homework every night, and someone laughed. That laugh stuck in my head for days. It hurt a little. But now, not even when I remember it, still I smile. Because now, I know something deep and true. Mistakes are not the enemy. They are not a wall. They are a bridge. They transport me from here to there, from where I am to where I want to be. Without mistakes, I am not growing. Without errors, I can't progress. I can't learn. When I had said, "I ate," my brain jolted. It paused. It wondered, why does this sound bad? So I checked. I searched. Oh, there was my response. Eat, ate, eaten. And there we go. I just did learn something new. Not from a grammar book, not from a teacher, but from a mistake. My mistake. Now I say something and make a mistake, and I don't feel ashamed. I feel curious. I want to know why. I want to fix it. I want to try again. I say the wrong sentence. I correct myself. Then I say it the right way. That process is going to make the learning stronger. That very gradual path from mistake to understanding. It's a memory I just don't lose. I recall the first time I ever attempted to express what my day had been like. I replied, "Today I went to the market and bought apples." I was proud. I spoke 2 full sentences, but then I thought, wait, is it buyed or bought? I looked and found out. And now every time I say bought, I think about it. I remember the mistake, and it makes me smile. I do mispronounce some things as well. One time I pronounced vegetable as though it had all those letters, vegetable. My friend smiled and told me, "It's vegetable." I laughed. I repeated it. And now, whenever I say vegetable, I say it with a smile because I'm reliving that moment. That mistake became a memory, a good one. Some days I'll talk a whole paragraph and realize later, oops, I used the past tense wrong. But I don't stop speaking. I don't go silent. I just bite my tongue and move on. My goal is not to be perfect. My goal is to grow. I used to think that mistakes were risky. I believed they would prove I had been weak. But slowly, I saw the truth. Errors are proof that I am trying. They are signs of progress. If I'm error-free, that means I am not trying hard enough. I'm not speaking in English is what it is. But if I make a bunch of mistakes, it means I'm in motion. I am learning. I am alive in the language. Now I speak more freely. I'm not waiting for the perfect word. I just speak. If I make a mistake, I laugh and fix it. Sometimes I even write down the mistake and look it up later. Occasionally, I even tell friends of my mistake, and we all laugh a little. These moments bring joy. I also realized that the more mistakes I make, the better my memory is. I recall it better when something messes up, because it made me stop, it made me think, it made me notice. Once I said, "I cut my hair yesterday." A native speaker kindly said, "I believe the word you're looking for is cut and not cutted." I laughed and said, "Oh, yes, cut stays the same." I'll never forget it again. And not so much because I studied it as because I lived it. This is the magic of mistakes. They are things like little road signs along the way. They say, turn left, try again, look closer. They are not restraining. They are pointing out the way. Mistakes used to scare me in public. I figured they'd either laugh or chide me in a snarky manner. But most people understand. Most people are kind. And even if I hear laughter, I also laugh, because I know enough to keep learning. And it helps if you can laugh. I even challenge myself now to make one mistake a day, but not for reason of purpose. I talk more, I exercise new words, and I attempt longer sentences, for mistakes will probably fall, and I welcome them. They are part of my everyday English world. I try to write down my mistakes sometimes. I keep a little notebook. Mistake, I went to school. Correction, I attended school. It becomes a fun collection, a record of growth. Every mistake is a sign of progress. I am learning English little by little. So if you are afraid to make mistakes, don't. Let them come. Let them teach you. Laugh at them. Learn from them. Love them. Because they are not your enemy. They are the silent teachers. And the more mistakes you make, the closer you get to fluency. Your voice might not be stellar right now. Your sentences may be messy. But that's okay. That's how every student starts. Speak anyway. Try anyway. Make mistakes anyway. And one day you'll look back and you'll say, "It made me strong." And perhaps, just perhaps, you'll laugh. Just like I do. Chapter 9. My time in English. My place in English. I reserve a minuscule spot for English, and I struggle with my own inadequacy in that language. Nothing fancy, simply a chair and a small table in the corner of my room. I put a notebook there, a pen, maybe a small lamp. This is not a classroom. This is not a school. But for me, it's a bit of both. I call it my English corner, and every day I come here. For 15 minutes. Sometimes more, sometimes less. But I show up. This space is a silent promise to myself. When I am in this corner, I discard the world. I forget about my job, my family, and my problems. I focus only on English. I don't do it all at once. One day I write, just simple sentences. Today is sunny. I feel happy. I ate rice and chicken. I write them out by hand, carefully. Another day I speak. I look around, and I say what I see. I talk about my day. I tell a short story. I record myself and listen. I smile at my progress. Some days I read a short story out loud. I pull up with my finger following the words. I hear my voice. I feel the rhythm. I enjoy the sound. Other days I listen. I play a podcast or a short video. I don't need to know what every last word means. I just kind of let all this English flow into my ears. Everything is different in this cramped space, and before I felt I needed a teacher to do this. I thought I had to have a big plan. But now, I see the truth. I just need a place, a moment, a little peace. This is not about perfection. This is about presence. This is choosing a habit that fits into my life. I even come here on a busy day. I sit for 5 minutes when I'm tired. Just 5 minutes. I say one sentence. I write 2 lines. I repeat one phrase. Doesn't sound like much, but it is not. It's powerful. It's because the habit is more powerful than the mood. and the custom is made into the road. I can recall one day when it all felt heavy. I had no energy, but I kept telling myself, just get in the chair. I sat. I didn't write. I didn't speak. I simply queued up a 2-minute video and listened. That's all. But I felt proud. I showed up. I kept the promise. I even decorate my English corner sometimes. I scrawl a word on a piece of paper and adhere it to the wall. Believe. Speak. Learn. These words give me energy. They remind me why I started. I put small things in there, a clock, a plant, and a picture. It becomes my space, my English home inside my own home. This place becomes a symbol. Sitting here, my brain knows it's my English time. I know in my heart, I am doing something crucial. Even my hands know, now is the time to pick up the pen, to press play, to speak. I don't feel lost anymore. I feel guided, because this place, in a way, provides me structure. It gives me direction. You don't need a big room. You need no costly tool. You just need a spot. A place you come back to multiple times. When you arrive there, you try to learn. You grow. You connect with English. And pretty soon, your mind begins to crave it. It's an added part of your day, like brushing your teeth, like drinking tea. Sometimes I light a candle. Sometimes I play soft music. I create a feeling of peace. I want my English time to be a good time, not like work, not like pressure. I want it to feel like a present I give myself. And slowly it does. A part of my corner I've reserved a notebook as well. It is my English diary. I don't write big things. I write what I did today, what I ate, what I felt. I don't worry about grammar. I don't pause to look for errors. I just write, and I smile. That's what I do. We all smile when we read old pages. I see progress. I see growth. I see myself moving forward. My English corner disciplines me. It teaches me love. It teaches me patience. Nobody claps when I'm done. No one gives me a grade. But I feel something better. I feel strong. I feel steady. I feel proud. If you're looking to integrate English into your life, carve out your space. It doesn't matter how small. Make it yours. Spend time there every day, even if it's 5 minutes. Write, speak, read, listen, do something, anything. But do it regularly. That's how transformation actually begins. Not all that studying is going on all day. It's not what you know. It's about showing up. Every day. No excuses. No waiting for the right moment. You create the time. You create the place. And English starts to grow. This small space becomes big, not in size, but in meaning. It becomes a place of dreams, a place of courage, a place where you start over and over. So, find your corner, choose your chair, hold your notebook, and begin. You do not require a map for your own particular path. It needs a place that proclaims, "This is where I grow. This is your English time. This is your English place." And that is how English takes over your life. 1 second, 1 room, 1 syntax at a time. Chapter 10. The day I didn't translate. One day, a strange thing does occur. I wake up feeling stiff and groan. I've got to get up for work. I go to the bathroom and think, I should brush my teeth. T and I put on some tea and murmur, I'm boiling water. I pause. I blink. I feel something different. These sentences, I didn't translate them. They just came, naturally, like breathing, like also the water in a tap. They did not enter my first language. They came from inside me, in English. I sit down with my tea. I look out the window. My heart is silent, but my mind is fully conscious. Did I just think in English? I smile to myself. Yes, I did. I translated nothing for an entire morning. I didn't look up words in my language first. The English words were already waiting for me. This moment feels like magic. But it's not magic. The secret to it is many small steps, repeated every single day. I remember how I began, nervous, silent, afraid. I recall when every word was heavy, when sentences required the work of a translator. I would think in my language and then look for the words in English. It was slow. It was tiring. But I didn't give up. I integrated English into my daily routine as a lifestyle choice. I spoke to my pillow. I whispered to the mirror. I listened while I cooked. I read stories before bed. I made mistakes. I smiled. I corrected it. I grew. Now, here I am, sitting in my room, thinking in English, not trying, not forcing, just living. It didn't happen overnight, and it was because I quit treating English as a subject in school. I quit waiting for permission. I stopped chasing perfection. I turned English into my day-to-day buddy, and that friend gradually invaded my thoughts, my voice, my habits, my life. That day, I go outside. I spot a small boy playing with a ball. I'm thinking, he kicks the ball. I don't translate. I notice a woman standing at the bus stop. She looks worried, I think. Again, no translation, just thoughts, real thoughts, in real English. It feels so soft, so light, so free. This is fluency, not a perfect score on a grammar test, not a bunch of fancy words, but the ability to engage in the language without pause. I come home and sit in my English corner. I open my notebook. I tell the story of my day in English. I don't think about spelling. I don't think about tenses. I just write. The words come like a river. I don't need a dictionary. I don't feel stuck. I feel like I belong. This is not a lesson. This is my life. I watch a video without subtitles later in the evening. I understand it. Not every word, but enough. I don't panic. I don't pause. I just listen. And then I laugh at a joke. A real laugh. Because I got it. In English. In real time. This is the day when I understand. English is no more outside of me. It is not a second language. It is a second voice. A second home. It strides with me, dreams with me, and labors with me. It doesn't displace my first language. It adds to it. It expands me. Now I've got something to tell you. This day will be there for you too. Maybe not today, maybe not this week, but it will come. If you keep going, if you keep showing up, you'll wake up one morning and just say something in English, and you won't even realize that you didn't translate. That will be your day. Your own lovely little hard-earned win. But this moment isn't an end. It's a beginning. Because now English is not just something I need to learn, it's something I live. Duh. I don't have to study it. I have to use it. Every day. In small ways. In real life. And the more you do that, the more it becomes a part of your brain, and ultimately, really, a part of your heart. I didn't arrive at this place through grand lessons. I didn't learn hundreds of words. I did not execute an ideal plan. I lived it. I spoke it. I listened. I read. I wrote. I made mistakes. I forgave myself. I kept going. You can do this too. You don't need a school. You don't have to worry about grammatical correctness. You need a voice, a yearning, and a few minutes of open time in your day. Rise and shine to English. Part of your walk, part of your meals, part of your silence. Let it live beside you. Let it grow with you. And one day you'll be like me. I will be sitting there quietly, thinking softly, and you will smile, because now English is a language, not a language to learn. Your voice, your friend. This is the day I did not interpret, and this is the day I knew. English is part of my forever. Now you've learned a bit about what I did to make English my daily. A word at a time, one little step every day. No special tools, no perfect plan, just life and English as it's lived every day. If this video gave you any ideas, courage, or hope, well, even just a little hope, please like it. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to my channel for more easy, real tips like this. And I would love to hear from you. How are you incorporating English into your daily routine? Leave a comment. Let's grow together.